Hey everyone, Miss Nicole here. And did you know that whatever you're writing in school or in distance learning falls into different writing categories? Well, I'm here to teach you about them. So stay tuned for this session on different writing styles. Our first style of writing is one of my favorites and probably one of the more popular. It's called narrative writing. Narrative writing is writing that tells a story using these key features. So whenever you are writing or reading a narrative story, it will include these different features. Starting with characters, you always want to make sure that your story has a minimum of one character in it. Moving on to setting, where does your story take place? Whether it's at a school, a coffee shop, a museum. And then, of course, you want to build out the plot. The plot has to include a beginning to your story, a middle, and an end. What stories have you read that follow the narrative features? Let's take a look at an example. This narrative story is called Chocolate's Adventure. As I read, can you listen for the different narrative features that the story has? Let's begin. In a forest far away, there lived a porcupine named Chocolate. He was not the only animal that lived in the forest. There were chipmunks, squirrels, rabbits, and foxes. The forest was an exciting place to live. However, Chocolate was not invited to play with the other animals. They did not like him because sometimes he accidentally shot his prickles at them. So Prickles tried to take his prickles off his back, but that did not work. Then he tried to put mud on his back to cover them up, but that did not work either. Then he put a shoe on his head to hide them, but that did not work. So he went home and pouted. Suddenly, he heard a loud coyote howling. Howl! He sprinted out of his house and found the coyote. He shot his prickles at the coyote, and the coyote ran away. Prickles was a hero. Wow, what a short but fun story. I noticed many different narrative features in that story, from the setting of the forest to the problem of Chocolate not being able to make friends because he accidentally shoots his pricklies at people, to the solution being he shot his pricklies at a coyote, saving the day. Let's take a look at another example. This story is titled A Funny Story. Last week, something really funny happened. It was Saturday morning, and my sister and I were getting ready to go to the grocery store with my mother. When we were almost ready, my mother suddenly stopped. "Oh no," she said. "What?" I asked her. "I can't find my keys. Where are my keys?" she yelled. My mother looked very worried. She thought she had lost her keys, and she was worried that my dad might get angry. She started running around the house looking for her keys. "Mom," I said. "Not now," she said, running around the house. "I need to find the keys." Mom," I said again. "What?" She stopped and looked at me with an angry face. "Your keys were in your hand," I said. My mother looked in her hand, and there they were. She was holding the keys the whole time. My mother looked very embarrassed, and my sister and I couldn't stop laughing. What a silly story. How many times has that happened to you or maybe a family member? What's cool about this story is it includes another element of narrative writing, which I haven't mentioned, which is called dialogue. Dialogue is when you have two people in a story talking back and forth. That's another cool element that you can add to enhance your story. I also saw that this one has a setting, Saturday morning, it has a character, the main characters, the sister, the mom. It has a problem. Can you guess what the problem was? If you guessed the mom losing her keys, you got it correct. And then it had the solution. The keys are in her hand the whole time. This is a prime example of a narrative piece of writing. Well, now that we took a look at some narrative examples, what are you going to write your narrative story about? Just remember, it must include the different narrative features. Let's review them one last time. Characters, setting, plot with a beginning, middle, and end. You can add some dialogue to spice it up. Till next time, see you soon. Bye!